Hey, what's up, visionaries?
What's up?
What's up, good people? We hope everybody's doing well as usual. Guess what next month is? Just in case you didn't know, next month is Mental Health Awareness Month. So we wanted to hop in and jump on and talk about mental health awareness, especially in the black community. Mm-hmm. So if you've been watching the shorts that I've been putting up, I've been touching on the topic a little bit, but today I got my closest road dog with me, so we're gonna really unpack this thing, and even when it comes to, relationships in the black community, so it's very important.
Yep.
All right, so mental health and relationships for black men and women.
It affects them in many different ways.
Yes, it does, and we gonna start by talking about the impact of untreated mental health issues on black men's relationships.
Yeah. Untreated mental health issues on black and a man's relationship, it comes out in a lot of ways. It may come out in depression, anxiety, PTSD, and it negative impacts a black man's relationship. And these effects can greatly affect their ability to communicate in relationships, especially effectively. They might communicate, but not effectively, and they will form unhealthy attachment styles, and they will not be able to manage stress and conflicts, as we can see that the youth are out here in the streets just running around, and just untreated, they will start to isolate themselves and further strain other relationships, their child relationships. So it's important that they get the help that they need.
Yeah, and that's not only for youth though. There's definitely for adults.
Yeah.
A lot of adults, they still got mental health issues and don't even know it. But next we want to talk about the impact of societal pressures on black women's mental health and relationships. See, us black women face unique pressures that can contribute to mental health issues and strained relationships. These pressures can include sexism, racism, and classism, which can lead to emotional stress and contribute to health issues such as depression, anxiety, and postpartum depression. Now, black women may face unique challenges as well when seeking mental health support. These challenges include financial barriers, limited access to mental health resources, and a lack of cultural responsive mental health care. So with that being said, we are just not seeing the advocacy for black mental health in women and men as well.
Or just that the available resources, like it's not really a focus. I guess it's not really a focus point with a lot of the issues, but a lot of that's the stem from a lot of issues.
Yeah.
Mental health issues sticking back from past stuff that happened.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of stigma surrounding men, particularly in the mental health field. It's like they don't want to get help. They seeking help for mental issues. Like it's society's pressures. Like you need to be strong. You need to be resilient. You don't need to show weakness. But in actuality, that's a form when you're not healthy and you're not emotionally and mentally stable. Then you're an unstable man in all his ways. And the Bible says you're an unstable man in all his ways.
Right.
Unstable. So it's important that we get the help to attack these mental issues and not be feeling all weak and vulnerable when we want to pursue things that control our emotional and mental well-being.
Yeah, truth be told, to me, it's a little backwards. Like, I feel like you weak if you don't handle your mental health challenges.
Yeah,
I think that's weak.
Yeah, nowadays, because we're never going to be fully indulged in living a fulfilled life if we got mental issues.
Right.
We always just existing in places and relationships and parenting. We always just existing and not really controlling our mental surroundings. Yeah.
So let's talk about how to overcome the stigma and seek help for mental health issues.
Well, the first and foremost thing, black men and women can overcome these stigmas by, number one, recognizing the importance of mental health and seeking the necessary help that they need by trusted individuals. Like I said, you gotta work on your mental health. Mental health is important so you can show up to this world your best self.
Yeah. You can also access mental health resources such as therapy and counseling. It's just essential to promote mental health awareness, communication with the community,
especially in the Black community.
Yep, and encourage Black men and women to seek help for their mental health issues. So let's talk the role of stigma in Black men, mental health, and relationship.
Like I said, the role of stigma in Black men is, like I said, they're perceived as you weak if you got a problem. And like I said, from growing up, people looked at, like, if you're going to talk to somebody, if you're going to talk to a therapist or something, that you got, like, you really crazy. Mm-hmm. But nowadays, that's far from the case. I think a lot of people, we got so much bottled. It's just emotions that's bottled up and start to harden the heart and turn into mental issues like depression, anxiety, PTSD, all that stuff, because we don't handle these mental issues, and we put up a strong barrier, mm-hmm. but we weak it with a weak core. Mm. So we putting up this strong persona that we stronger than we are, but that's actually, you got a weak core. And in Black communities, we really need to seek out the help, because everybody, you're gonna be you damned if you do, you damned if you don't. So you're gonna always be judged, labeled. People can judge you weak and crazy if you did get mental health. But the fact that you out here seeking the mental health and getting your mental sanity in place, that means that you strong and you aware of yourself. You know yourself, because you don't know yourself and you hide behind a wall. So I think another persona. Mm-hmm. So I think we really need to express the importance of getting the mental health, of getting ourselves, talking to somebody, going to therapy and all that stuff, just as much as anything else in life, like that they need to make sure that it's running straight like a car. Mm-hmm. You go get your car inspected every year. Women, you go get to the doctor every year, go get pap smears. So I think it's essential that we actually kind of implant that inside our communities, especially inside the Black communities, that we go get like monthly checkups. Mm-hmm. Every 90 days, go get a checkup. Not even necessarily a checkup, go talk to somebody. Yeah. Because all it is bottled up emotion that affects our mental health, mm-hmm. and awareness to come out here in the community and be productive individuals. Yeah,
that's good stuff. And stigma can also impact communication and emotional expression within relationships as well. Okay, the fear factor of being judged and misunderstood can lead to self-isolation, as my husband said. Mm-hmm. Emotional
lack of emotion.
Yeah, depression. Which can strain relationships.
Yeah, strain your relationship with your spouse or your partner. It will strain your relationship with your kids. Yeah. And there are many strategies to address and overcome these mental health issues. Number one, like we said, you got to be awareness. Awareness is number one, because if you're not aware of the problems, or you don't, not necessarily, you probably not aware, but a lot of times it's what we're not aware of that we end up hitting us right in the face. And sometimes we need a plan before we get there. Mm-hmm. Like, we send our youth, we out here send the kids, and we want to help the kids, but we got that 10-year-old that's right here and maybe in your house watching this big brother grow up. So pretty soon he gonna step up to that level if he don't have somebody else talking to him, mm-hmm. and if he not able to express himself like openly, so he can get stuff off his chest, and so maybe somebody else can give him a better perspective, mm-hmm. that you're not able to give him inside the house. Nowadays, the kids, they just don't talk to parents. Yeah. They don't talk to parents.
They sure don't, but they go find something out on the streets or from somebody else and swear they done hit the jackpot, and you like, I already told you that.
Yeah, so I think it's essential.
They just don't listen to parents as they would. Most children don't listen to parents as they would somebody else.
And most important, they're not going to talk to parents. And
absolutely.
They might listen a little bit, but they're not going to tell you everything like they might openly tell somebody else, like a therapist. Mm-hmm. Something that they want to get off their chest, and it might be about you, and they can't tell you the person the problem is, so they might feel comfortable getting off their chest to talk to somebody. Mm-hmm. It's essential that we out here talk to somebody to get the mental health that people need.
Yeah, so promoting mental health awareness, like education, is what's going to be helpful. Okay, it's going to be helpful to be advocating for policies that support mental health and equality or equity. Yeah. Mental health equity. All right, go ahead, babe. Oh, okay. So next, we're gonna chop it up on breaking the cycle of intergenerational trauma. Okay, and again, we promoting mental health, and healthy relationships in the Black community. So, what is intergenerational trauma?
Intergenerational trauma is trauma that is passed down from one generation to the next. This trauma can occur from a group of experienced traumatic events, slavery, segregation, war, disaster, child neglect, domestic violence in the family, alcoholism, any kind of thing. A lot of this can be passed down from one generation to the next, and we're the one dealing with this trauma because a lot of times this stuff is just not healed. The people they haven't had an opportunity to heal from this trauma, and now they raising kids, and now they getting in relationships with people. So they bringing all this past intergenerational trauma that was passed down from their mom. A lot of stuff we don't even see that was passed down, and we bring it to relationships. We present it as like a normalization of events.
Yeah. Intergenerational trauma manifests itself through repetition of pattern behavior that can lead to dysfunction and distress in families and also communities.
Yeah.
This can, like my husband said, it includes substance abuse, domestic violence, and mental health problems.
Like I said, it's a pattern of behavior of dysfunction, that distress that leads into family and community. So this pattern is something you do over and over and over again. A lot of times these patterns are habits, and a lot of times habits we don't even know we're doing it.
Right.
So a lot of times habits we don't even know that we're going through the motion of passing this stuff down, generational trauma, intergenerational trauma from one generation to the next. Like it's okay, like cussing kids or stuff, or maybe whooping a kid for no reason.
Yeah, or like just pure domestic violence.
I think alcoholism, especially in the Black community, like I said, a lot of people just sit around and drink, and I'm sure they parents probably drunk, or they was around people that just sit around and drink.
And then the kids just watching.
And they got the kids. You got the kids right there watching you, the next generation grow up, and you trying to tell them, well, you better get a good job, or something, or tell them to do something. In actuality, they see that, but they seeing with you, they watching us.
Yeah, gone be the days where you better get up out of our face, our grown folks' face.
Yeah,
what you doing here, you know?
Yeah,
our parents used to say that.
Yeah, that's crazy. Because back in the day, you did like had to get up out of grown folks' face. They didn't allow you to be inside of grown folks' face. And I think a lot of like I said, but that comes from a lot of people like where they was growing up, and they style of the intergenerational trauma that come back brings them from their style of parenting that they bring to the table too. Like I said, their style of parenting is kind of how they dictate and they show what they expose their kids to, or what they do around their kids. They have
we gonna get into some different styles of parenting a little later too. But domestic violence is, for me that sticks out because I've been through it, and then plus it's just a lot going on now.
Yeah.
It's a lot of domestic violence going on with these young children, killing young children. Yeah. Or even their girlfriends, or, is sometimes you even see what a girlfriend might have, killed her boyfriend.
Yeah, but it's mostly the men that's out here violent and killing these women because, like I said, they just have not had trauma. They got trauma that was passed down. Their parents haven't dealt with it. And now they dealing with the consequences of that trauma and their own trauma that they bring to the picture. And now they got all this bottled up emotion and they don't know how to express it.
Right. And then in the Black community, not going to see a therapist or somebody to help out is just normalized.
Yeah.
So, you looked at the wrong way in the Black community, like you crazy.
Yeah, they look at you
like you some
crazy.
kind of crazy person, if you say therapist, or it's foreign to them. So, we got to stop that. We definitely need to stop that and raise more awareness on getting our children
first
to see a therapist. We need to work on ourselves too. If we got younger children in the house, We need to work on getting ourselves to therapists and talking to them about it. Yeah.
Especially if you're in a low income house, because there's a lot of extra resources and you get a lot of stuff. Like I said, they give you a lot of stuff, but you just got to get the information. And that's why we're going to give you some information and resources at the end of this video that you can plug into. And it's a plethora of information, but you just need the resources to know where to go and look and get the help that you need so you can get the kids now, get them when they're young. Because like I say, that 10-year-old is watching that 16-year-old. And he's watching his older brother, so pretty soon, if something's not controlling him, getting inside his head, then he's gonna do what he sees.
And every 16-year-old is not an ideal 16-year-old brother. So that 16-year-old could be one that's in a gang or one that's doing, all kinds of crazy, dealing with some mental health issues.
Mental health issues, because a lot of these kids, I believe they do have personality disorders. I mean, they looking at social media, they got Instagram, social media, they got so many people, so much stuff pulling at their head and their mind. And that mind creates an unhealthy mental pattern in their head, which people would say mental illness.
Right. Even if they that 10-year-old wanted to do good with his life, after watching his brother, he thinking that's what's right. Yeah,
they misconstrued about what's right, and that's the generational pattern that we keep passing down from one generation to the next. Dysfunction, distress in the black community, and we looking at it like it's normal. Yeah. Which is not normal.
It's not. And especially, like this, it ain't off topic, but low income communities experience, from my opinion and from what I see, low income housing and communities, they experience more shootings and, more killings and more drugs and things. So these low income communities, they need the help. I know I grew up in a low income with the projects.
Yeah, and a lot of times, like I said, it might not be you, but it might, your kids might know somebody next to them that was shot or that was in a violent or some kind of event, traumatizing event that's affecting them. You might not even know. Like I said, you can't just deny things just because what you don't know hurts you. Yeah. So I suggest that you get the kids, let the kids, put them in counseling, put them in weekly or monthly counseling, at least monthly, or every 60 days they go talk to a counselor for 2-3 sessions or something, just to because they need to get an emotion to mentally rejuvenate their mind, get their mental sanity. So if they get their mind right, then they can get their heart right, and they can come out here and be productive and know how to constructively communicate with the people in their environment. Yeah. And they won't be so destructive and angry out here.
And not even, we ain't even said nothing about all the school shootings. So these kids, they got a lot on their plate. Yeah. They got a lot on their plate. They're hearing about all the killings. They go to school, talk about it. They see it on the news. So, I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if they're not scared to walk to their bus stop.
Yeah. But like I say,
stuff need to be addressed. Yeah, and they need to talk.
And it's the mental health issues, but it's also, most importantly, it's the music and the readily access that the kids, and we give the kids to these headphones. Yeah. They got unlimited access to the headphones. Well, they messing up their mental mind listening to this corrupted music. I'm sure y'all hear the music out there. The music is corrupted. Yeah. And then you got these kids building up they watching persona, and then they building up their own persona by listening to stuff that's already messing them up. I mean, they already dealing with a lot of other issues, the peer pressure of trying to be this, trying to be that, and got to get more likes and get people to like you, dress this and dress that. So you already deal with a lot of other pressures on there. And now they're getting personal access to the headphones. Back in the day, we really didn't have headphones like that. Whatever you listen to, the community listen to. So whatever your parents or somebody put on, that's what everybody would listen to. Really, you might have a radio, but it was like you can hear it. Now, pretty soon we started getting the fact that you could listen to your own radio. And I think it got a lot of people mentally messed up. This music is crazy. Yeah. They got people doing these pills.
And on the flip side, for the girls, oh Lord. They got them dropping it like it's hot, twerking all over.
Girl summer.
Right, and they like 4.
It's crazy. But it stems from the mental illness in a black community of normalizing things that's really not normal. Like a 7 or 4-year-old twerk or 5-year-old twerking on singing a Megan Thee Stallion song, and you like, oh, she's so cute.
And it started too with the pictures, with the lips out. You know, them pictures.
They's taking the same picture you. Now we out here. Now they got a generation. Everybody want to be Barbie dolls. Yeah. But I think we really need to address, like I said, the trauma in the black community, guys, so we can stop the next generation from worsening. Because it's getting worse. It's not getting better. Like I said, we got access to headphones, so we building up a whole bunch of extra stuff, so many distractions, man. So we really need to tackle the mental health, especially in the black community. Let us know it's normal to talk to somebody. It's normal to get help. You actually helping yourself out. You unhealthy if you want to be a healthy individual, you want to be an unhealthy individual.
Right.
You unhealthy if you're not going out here seeking help, talking to somebody, going to get the counseling, going to get the right tools to help you be a productive and actually so you can do relationships the way relationships are supposed to be, so you won't be out there so angry, and you can actually cope and bond with somebody and not just build a whole bunch of many nothings.
Right.
Because you're not whole.
Yeah. Another thing before we move on is us black parents in the black community teaching our children that we got to have Jordans, that we got to have the latest this, the latest that. I mean, come on. The pressure, they already got a lot of pressure. So the pressure to have those Jordans for somebody with low income, like a kid or something that just can't afford it, that leads them to robbing, that leads them to, doing all kinds of things just because they want to have them Jordans. They want to have that look. I mean, invest in them a therapist instead of invest in them. Invest in yourself. And
I would say, we spend so much on the outward appearance of people. I'm like a car. I tell people all the time, like, I love your little car, man, but your car, if it don't sound good and that engine ain't right, it ain't right. A lot of people you look for on the outward appearance, that's good. That's good. It look good. Look good, but the natural reality, if the inside ain't right, I mean, the only person you fooling is you ain't even fooling yourself. You can't fool yourself, man. At the end of the day, you got to face yourself. So I think we need to go inside the court and recognize that it's not about the outside look, but that's generational financial trauma that's passed down to generation, like money. Money is to be spent, not kept. Like money is evil. They look at that. You better look good, boy. Look good. You ain't gotta have no money. As long as we look like we got something, let's just look like we got something. Yeah, that's good up to a certain extent, but it's allowing the black community to stay financially stressed and pass on next generation of bad spending habits. Going on a Saturday, going shopping, going spending and stuff, but we just passing on bad spending habits that's leaving generation after generation broke, and we're not passing on no kind of financial literacy. We passing on bad spending habits. We're not passing on no kind of money, no kind of assets over to the next generation. We're just going generation to generation, not really accomplishing nothing. Everybody passing on mental trauma from trauma to trauma, and we're not really accomplishing nothing. I think we need to wake up if we want to accomplish something, to face the facts and stop passing on trauma from generation to generation and deal with the issues that we got to deal with. Yeah.
All right, so let's move along. Let's talk intergenerational trauma that may also manifest in different parenting styles. Okay, so this is commonly seen in the black community.
And the white too, but we typically talk about the black community. It's
commonly seen in the black community, and that's our community, so that's what we're discussing. All right, so black parents who have experienced trauma are more likely to exhibit certain parenting styles. Okay, such as authoritarian, that's it. Permissive, disengaged, or helicopter parenting. Helicopter. To cope with their own trauma or to protect their children from harm.
They always want to protect them, but in the end, we know we're doing them harm.
Yeah.
Authoritative parenting style. This parenting style.
Now hold on. What is it now?
Authoritarian.
Okay, I'm gonna get it. Authoritarian parenting style.
Meaning you want to keep authority. You want to authorize. You want to pursue authority over the child. Okay. Authoritative parenting is characterized by strict rules, high expectation, and low emotional support. This type of parent don't give a lot of support. They got a lot of high expectations. This type of parent results from intergenerational trauma as black parents who grew up in home with strict controlling parent style, and they did not show the kid emotional support. For example, a black parent could have grew up in a household with authoritarian parent and was normal. It was a norm to struggle, and such conflict would make the kid feel angry and powerless because they wasn't able to express themselves, so they felt powerless and angry when they did express themselves. And they may replicate this pattern when they grow up and they end up having kids. This type of people normally bring this pattern into their parenting style too, and they lack the emotional support in their parenting style.
Okay, so the next parenting style we want to talk about is permissive parenting style. Now, permissive parenting is characterized by low demands and high emotional support. Okay, this parenting style may result from intergenerational trauma. As parents who experienced neglect or abuse may overcompensate by being overly permissive with their children or overprotective with their
Don't want
children.
them to do no harm. Don't want nothing to happen to them. And a little boo, they ready, come here, baby, boo, boo, boo.
Yeah.
Babying up and cradle them like a baby, a big baby too.
They'd be 16.
I'm gonna be 24.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be 24. They'd be 30. I mean, a lot of people are mama's boys.
Yeah.
And that's because they probably was abused and they overprotect their child. Like, I don't want nothing to happen to my baby.
Yeah.
He my baby. I understand the baby, but let him be a man.
Yeah.
And a lot of people, they parent like that.
Yeah. I'm wondering, am I permissive?
Yeah.
Because I don't know, because I like being the trauma that I had in my childhood.
Yeah.
I would protect my children. I'd be like, if this certain person come around, you scream.
Yeah.
You know, or do this or that.
Yeah. I would say this is your parenting style.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I didn't want that stuff happening to my children, so.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
I don't think I got some of it. You think I'm a helicopter? Anyway, the next parenting style is a disengaged parent. One of the worst. Disengaged parenting is characterized by low demands and little emotional support. Okay, this type of parenting may be a result of intergenerational trauma as well. Okay, as parents who experience trauma may have difficulty connecting emotionally with their children or may feel overwhelmed and unable to provide the support their children need.
I mean, they're just overwhelmed. They not emotionally there. Any little dysfunction throws them in a loop.
Yeah, right.
Any little abnormal thing that the kid may do, or any little thing just throws them all out of whack.
Right, that's because they still stuck in their emotional trauma.
Yeah, in their emotions, so they can't even deal with you, let alone deal with you, and they just like this. I we have kids, and we just like disengage from the child's life. You probably don't go to no sports events. When you come on, you might say hey to the kids, and then all of a sudden you tuned out on the TV and stuff, and you're really not emotionally there and involved with the kids. You probably don't go to no kind of programs at the school. The kids come home, they do their thing, you do your thing, and you don't really deal with them. You might dinner on the stove, and you just function like somebody who just disengaged from life and disengaged from your emotions, and you disengage from your people around you.
Yeah. So definitely seek therapy. If you're a disengaged person, if this resonates with you, being a disengaged parent, that means you need to talk. You need to, seek help so that you can show your children some emotional support.
Yeah. And you're not crazy, man. If you're talking to people, you're
crazy if you don't go talk.
You're right. You're crazy if you don't open up and start talking and get this bottled up emotion out so you can move on and get to your best life, man. Because I tell you, a lot of people, they think like you can see. I can only imagine when more people get more emotionally stable and healthy, you're gonna see things start to change. Especially if you start getting emotionally healthy and just in your area, and you start putting certain things on for other people, you're gonna see people start to change, man. Everybody is so angry, so much bitterness, so much craziness, man. Need to get it right.
All right. On the other hand, authoritative, I hope I'm saying it right, parenting is characterized by high demands and emotional support. Okay, this may result from parents who have received support and resources to address their trauma and have developed healthy parenting practices already. Additionally, instinctive and attachment parenting styles may be a way for Black parents who have experienced trauma to create a secure and nurturing environment for their child, while helicopter parenting may be a way for parents to protect their children from harm or cope with anxiety related to their children's well-being.
Helicopter parent. Yeah, you want to parent out. You want to helicopter all over the kids, so you don't want no harm to come to them.
Yeah, and that's another parenting style, helicopter parenting. If I know we didn't mention that was a style, but it is.
Yeah. Well, like I say, in order for us to really break this cycle of intergenerational trauma in the Black community and Black mental health, and just so we can get the help, is we really need to understand that most majority of people got some kind of mental health problems. I mean, if you're dealing with something that most people are not saying, you got some kind of generational trauma that you're dealing with through this day. And if we don't get the necessary help that we need, then like I said, we're not going to be effective in parenting. We're not going to be able to heal our own trauma, and we're not going to be able to develop healthy parenting practices that we can pass down from the next generation. So we really need to address the importance of the root cause of this trauma, and just get the resources, and then share the resources that we get, so we can go out and heal the community and people of their trauma.
Okay, so breaking the cycle of intergenerational trauma is a crucial step. It's critical in promoting mental health and healthy relationship within the Black community. Intergenerational trauma refers to the transmission of traumatic experiences and their effects across generations. This can include trauma related to historical events such as slavery, racism, and systematic oppression, as well as trauma related to personal experiences such as abuse, neglect, and violence. Now, I know we talked about this before, but we have to reiterate, okay? The impact of intergenerational trauma or mental health and relationships within the Black community can be significant, okay? Trauma passed down through generations can contribute to mental health issues again, such as depression and anxiety, PTSD, and also substance abuse, okay?
It will strain your relationship. It will break the relationship down.
So let's talk about some strategies.
Strategies
for breaking the cycle.
Strategies for breaking the cycle of mental health is simple. Go seek help. Go talk.
Well, that ain't simple. That's pretty hard, but it's simple.
It's the first step. Get signed up. I mean, we're gonna, like I said, at the end of this video, we're gonna give you the resources and tools and all the resources you need. Just the first website we're gonna give you is more than enough resources you need, where you can dive in, get the resources, they got webinars and everything, podcasts and everything. But we just got to switch the dynamic of our 24 hours of relationships. Like I said, one of the previous videos, healthy relationships have a positive interaction of 5 to 1. So we need to work on having more positive interactions during the daytime. So that could mean listen to podcasts. I mean, listen to podcasts, like I said, positive things to work on our positive mental state. And in the morning time, like I said, if you want to reach the next youth, then you kind of control the morning time. We used to put positive motivation on, had our kids listen to it when they work up in the morning. You can control your kids' morning. They got probably like an hour, maybe 30, 40 minutes. I don't know. Sometimes there's no boundaries. The kid wake up 15 minutes before it's time to go to school. He run out there to the bus stop. But if you can control the day, man, and start putting positive things in the kid, then you're going to be able to do it. Like I said, seek counseling. There's a lot of community support groups out here that you can help to seek a group. And if you want,
create a group.
You can create a group out here with mental support and everything for the Black community. But you can also just be an advocate for it, man. When you see the policies and stuff jumping up, we voting and stuff, vote for the policies to help promote mental health and equality in the Black community.
We need it. We definitely need it. Advocating for the policies that address historical trauma and promote mental health equality can also be valuable for promoting healthy relationships within the Black community.
Yeah.
Okay, this can include policies that provide access to quality mental health care, address the social determinants of health, and promote equity in education, housing, and employment, because we know in the Black community, we don't get treated the same for the most part. We don't get treated the same. We don't get equality as the other races.
But sometimes just you got to get your feet wet, and just getting the little resources that we do have, especially like I said for the low income family, there is a lot of resources out here that you can do to get the process going, to get the help you need, because it's better late than never.
In summary, breaking down intergenerational trauma is just essential in a Black community.
Yep.
All right, so here are some additional resources that may be helpful for those seeking to learn more about breaking the cycle of intergenerational trauma and promoting mental health and healthy relationships within the Black community. So first,
we got the National Child Traumatic Stress Network. This organization provides resources and information on trauma and trauma-informed care for children and families. They also have a specific section on radical and ethical minority communities, and includes information on addressing the historical trauma and promoting health. We got another resource
promoting healing.
Promoting healing, promoting healthy healing. So, and this is actually one of my favorite ones, guys, because this one got a lot. Just like I said, you'll probably get lost in just the National Child Traumatic Stress Network alone, because this is for families and children, and they got a lot of information on it. It really goes deep, and just that one alone, you'll get nothing. But we got more research for you, which is the Association of Black Psychiatrists.
This organization provides resources and information on mental health and wellness within the Black community. They offer a directory of Black psychologists and mental health professionals, as well as resources on coping with racism and promoting mental health equity.
And we got another resource, which is the Therapy for Black Girls. This online resource is for Black women and girls and it offers therapies, counseling, and specializing in working in the population with the minority population. They also provide resources and information for the mental health awareness, such as podcasts, blogs. Like I said, they're gonna give you get this Therapy for Black Girls one you can give, because they gotta have more positive than negative interactions during the daytime. So they need to be watching more podcasts and not TikTok all day. Us as parents, we need to step up to get us mentally right, and also to give the kids some kind of positive interaction from us, not just from school, what you learn in school. That when they come home, they need to get some more, because they probably spend a lot, they staying up a lot, majority of the time at home too. And throughout that day, they're not having no positive interaction. We're probably not saying them, they're not hearing nothing positive. So this resource for the National Black Girls, they provide you with podcasts, I would suggest you get the kids, the Black girls on the podcast, let them listen to some hour a day enrichment. And this goes back to personal self-care as mental health. We got to work on our personal self-care. And that's going back to just working out, exercising, reading, getting into enrichment programs, music, arts, dancing. All this kind of stuff helps us work on our mental sanity. Yeah.
Absolutely. All right, number 4 is the Black Emotional and Mental Health Collective, better known as BEAM, BEAM. This is an organization that provides resources and information on mental health and wellness within the Black community. They offer workshops, training, and resources on healing and wellness, as well as advocacy and policy work on issues related to mental health, equity, or equality.
So this is for more of the Black men or the Black community, but this is, like I said, we gave you a plethora of information that you can really dive deep into, and there should be no shape or form. Ain't nothing to it but to do it within our own thing. But we just got to do it, man, because it's on us to get the help we need so we can change the next generation that's coming up behind us. They watching us. They going off the floor of us. So we really need to get to it, and because we got to address it, because this leads to other stuff like substance abuse, and that brings us to the 5th resource we're gonna give you, to substance abuse Substance Abuse and Mental Health Service Administration, which is the SAMHS organization.
Organization. This organization provides resources and information on mental health and substance abuse, including resources specific to communities of color. They offer a national helpline for individuals seeking treatment and support. So, as well as resources on trauma-informed care and promoting wellness.
Yeah, so we can get right, man, mentally, and we can go out here and be productive people in the society, and we can help the youth out, because they need our help and they need to get the right information. And so, like I said, we gave you all the information, the 6 resources.
Yeah, 6. The National Alliance on Mental Health Illness is the 6th resource that we recommend, which is NAMI.
Yeah, and that, like I said, .org, and that it got plenty of resources. Like I said, just that National Alliance Mental Illness, there's a lot of resources on there. Any one of these sites is going to have a lot of resources, especially National Child Trauma Stress Network. They're going to have a lot of resources that you can get to help and get the information that you need to help your kid and to help yourself out, so we can address these mental health issues inside the Black community that we looked at this week. We got to get strong so we can help the next generation out, because we don't do it, man, and that means it's going to be on the next generation to do it. So that's like another 10, 15, maybe more than that years.
Yeah. And the way this generation going,
we don't got all the time.
We want them to raise up the next generation.
Crazy, man. So we got to be the change we seek, man.
Yep, absolutely.
Yeah.
And all these resources, we got links to them. We'll have them in the description.
Yeah. Get right, man. So
and help others.
Help others, man, and get the help you need so you can build healthy relationships. And it starts with communication.
Yeah.
It starts with communication. So.
Yeah. So that's going to be a wrap for us, guys. We hope we could help you.
Mental health is cool.
Yeah, mental health is actually too cool, even for school.
Want to talk to people is cool, man.
Yes. Okay, so thank you guys so much for watching. Again, it's Tanya Lamont. And we're trying to reach our first 1,000 subscribers. So help us out here. You can help us. So we can help more people, okay?
Yeah,
by
giving the word out.
By giving the content.
Yeah.
All right, so subscribe below.
Yeah.
And we gotta say our family.
And so they had vision, and together they built a life that they deserve.
Is it deserved?
They love. So go get the help you need and go build, man. I'll see you in the next one.